Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We've got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Ethereum because, as you guys know, Ethereum has been having trouble breaking above critical levels of resistance that it's been contending with, namely the region right around $1,800 over the last several months. But over just the last couple of days, Ethereum has entered a major rally that has pushed it well above $1,900, and that gives me the understanding that Ethereum is now in a major rally, and it could also be one of the factors that leads Ethereum into a major Ethereum going into a major rally could be one of the factors that leads Bitcoin into a major rally moving into the second part of this month, considering that the CPI data drop is coming out in no more than just a couple of weeks. A week from today, we are going to be seeing CPI data release on April the 12th. We're hoping for a 0.2 to 0.3% drop on CPI. If that occurs, you are almost certainly going to see a moonshot on Bitcoin and on Ethereum. So if you're a hodler of Ethereum, you are sitting pretty right now, and that position may be about to get even better. So let's talk today about Ethereum, but let's also talk today about how Ethereum's rally could go on to impact the Bitcoin market and could help Bitcoin to rally above its critical level of resistance that it actually tested again last night at 28,545. We're going to talk about both charts today. We've got a lot to dive into, so we're going to jump straight on in to reading chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We just got started. We've already got over 100 people in chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Queen said, Sarah, no baby? Well, there's a baby. She's just not born yet. To be honest with you, it could be any day now. So that's something to keep in mind for you guys, is that at any point, we could be going into labor and delivery, and I will probably be off the stream the plan is to be off the stream for the first 2 weeks. That is not likely to happen. I'm probably going to stream before then, but of course, birth is a complicated and dangerous thing, and things can happen that might mean that I'll be away for longer than well, not for longer than I'd like. I'd like to be away so I can spend time with my family, but I think you get my point. I may be away for longer than a couple of days. I do think that I'll be able to be back streaming within just a couple of days. I might only miss 2 or 3 streams, but at the end of the day, you don't really know what to expect with birth. We're just praying that it all goes well, and the mother and baby, my wife and my daughter, are safe. Rockin' Metal News was in chat today, was first in chat today, said, hello, Jebb. Alex Nibo's in chat as well, said, good morning. Nuns with Guns in chat said, good morning. Sounds like we got some, we have some action movie nuns in chat. Jarat is in chat, said, good morning. Dan Nolan, Ernest Stokes in chat. J-Dog said, happy alts day. Yes, this is a bit of an alts day. John James Power, that's like a power name. That's a powerful name. It is literally a power name. AJ Knight said, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Have a blessed day. Kevin Barr, Satoshi Yoshi. Kevin Barr said, wow. Satoshi Yoshi said, good morning. What's the word, nerd herd? There you go. I used to be in a Skype channel in high school called the Nerd Herd, so I am familiar with that rhyme. Oh my said, good morning. Dan Nolan said, right now, right now. There we go. Queen said, Bedrock present. All right, let's see if I can pronounce this. This looks Greek. Konstantinos Skotras. Konstantinos Skotras. Tell me if I got that right. I probably rolled the R and I didn't need to. I might have made that too fancy. Tell me if I got that right. I don't know if I did. Silas E. Borg. Bullseye Bear says, I've got a real good feeling about Bitcoin. I do too. Queen said, Pastor Jebb, can you give us some info on CT2A? I sure can. CT2A is the antiquated product where I helped teach over 5,000 people about cryptocurrency. And in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, we had about 40 or 50 videos where we taught you guys a lot of the basics of technical analysis. A few things about CT2A. I created it multiple years ago, so I've learned a lot about cryptocurrency in the last 3.5 years since we kind of put the finishing touches on CT2A. So now there's a new product available. It's called Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. It is a lot of what was in CT2A, but I believe it's taught a lot better. And there's also a lot more information in Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis that was not in CT2A. And also, what you get for joining Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis is not only 62 video lectures that'll teach you all of the basics of technical analysis and the more intermediate and advanced concepts so that you can really get out there and start profiting through your trading and your investment, pushing towards financial sovereignty. But you'll also get access to our invite-only Discord server for our Club DeFi members and office hours that happen weekly at 8:30 p.m. Eastern every single Monday. So if you join Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis, you're going to be getting access to all of that, and you're also going to be getting access to the course that will be receiving updates this year after the baby's here and things calm down a little bit, and we're also able to get even more content out on the YouTube channel. There's going to be more content coming to Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. I'm very excited to put more videos, more content in here. So make sure that you stay tuned. If you want to get access to Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis, go to bitcoinacademy.teachable.com. You can find that link in the description box down below. Or more simply, you can just go to cryptojebb.com, our website, scroll down and see Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. These two courses are coming soon. If you come here and click the button, then this will bring you to all of the different video lectures. This is what this will look like once you're actually in the course. If I just switch over here to public view, because I'm, of course, in the admin panel, if you preview this as public and you come down here and hit Principles of Technical Analysis, you will see all of the courses here, and there's even 4 previews. You can come up here and preview some of these videos and see if it is something that you would be interested in. So if you want to learn more about technical analysis, the best place to do it is Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. So as far as what's the question is, what is CT2A? That was the progenitor to Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. Let's see. Good morning, Jebb and chat. Oh, I have another thing that I need to mention here. Silas E. Borg said, someone should totally give me your Lux Algo password. It's expensive, yo. I have a great announcement for you, and that is that we actually have a bigger coupon code now for Lux Algo. It's Jebb30. So before, we had a 20% off coupon code. Now you can actually use Jebb30, Jebb 30 at checkout to get 30% off of Lux Algo, because we want to make sure that Lux Algo is accessible to as many of you guys as possible. So that's something that that the Lux Algo team has done for me. I wanted to make sure that you guys were able to get access to Lux Algo, and so boom, there you go. Yeah, I was going to announce that today anyway, but you gave me the kind of the alley-oop there. Let's see. All right, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and jump on to CoinMarketCap here, because we are going to need to check out what the market is doing. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a single stream. We're covering TA on technicals. We're covering TA on crypto every single day. Maybe we'll bring back some 2-minute technicals today if you guys want. At the moment, Bitcoin is trading at approximately $28,234. And that is a very significant level, because looking at Bitcoin's hourly chart, you can see that Bitcoin attempted a breakthrough above 28,545 again last night. At 800 hours, that was 8 p.m. on Tuesday, April the 4th, Bitcoin broke through to $28,545, rallied all the way up in that same hour to $28,747, and peaked out at a local high at $28,787. This attempted breakout did fail again. But just keep in mind the number of times that Bitcoin has come up and tested this level. Before March 24th, we had already had 5 tests. March 29th, a 6th. March 29th, a 7th, an 8th, a 9th, a 10th, an 11th. Now a 12th. This is no less than the 12th time that Bitcoin has tested this level. And for any of you guys that are in Principles of Technical Analysis, you will know from this video over here on support and resistance tips that the more times you test a level of support or resistance, the more likely it is that it's going to break. We have not locked in super strong resistance at 28,545 because we've tested it this many times and we haven't been able to break through it. We have shown that the bears are weak right now. On the largest pullback that we were able to, that the bears were able to muster, I shouldn't say we because I'm not a bear right now, but the largest pullback that the bears were able to muster, they were only able to pull Bitcoin down to $27,678. Not even over $1,000, barely over $1,000 retraced from that local resistance. On the candle body, not even $1,000 away. So Bitcoin is having a correction right now. It's falling out of 28,545 again. But guys, when I tell you you, I've seen this before. I have seen this before. Bitcoin is testing this level over and over and over again, and it's going to end up breaking it. I can say that with a lot of confidence, so long as, and this is a big if, so long as the CPI data release come next Wednesday is a drop. If we see CPI increase, which I don't think will happen, but if we see CPI increase, then there is a high likelihood that Bitcoin will go down. What do I mean? Well, we're at 6.0 right now. Just go to our old trusty handy dandy bls.gov/CPI. And you can see inflation on CPI is sitting at 6% right now. If that goes up to 6.1 or 6.2, then yes, you are almost guaranteed to see a drop on Bitcoin, multiple $1,000s. But if that CPI does go down, as we expect that it will, and we see CPI drop down to 5.8, 5.7, 5.9 even, you're very likely to see a large breakthrough on Bitcoin. So that's where Bitcoin's sitting. It did test that resistance again last night. Back to CoinMarketCap, there is a level right here that I want to show you, and that would be Ethereum's level. Notice something. Year to date, Ethereum is not as far rallied as Bitcoin, and that's something that we have witnessed play out over the last several months. But Bitcoin has taken off away from the altcoins. In fact, if you look at the year-to-date rallies and you sort by year-to-date, scroll down, the first thing that you're going to find is Solana's up 100. The first of the top 10 on the year-to-date chart is going to be Solana. Solana rallied 110%, not because it's gone through this massive rally, but if you go to the chart and you take a look at Solana, the reason that it rallied so much is because it crashed so far. Solana crashed way, way, way deeper than it had, than many of the other cryptocurrencies had. Solana dropped during the FTX debacle over 75%. Bitcoin didn't even come close to that. Bitcoin dropped from the FTX crash 25%. Solana dropped at least 3 times farther than Bitcoin did. So naturally, Solana went through a larger bounce, and it actually was at its very bottom at the beginning of the year. Solana is nowhere near its pre-FTX highs. Pre-FTX, Solana was trading at $36. Right now, it's trading at $20. Looking at Bitcoin, pre-FTX, Bitcoin was trading at $21,000. Now it's trading at $28,000. So don't be fooled. That's a little bit of a trick of the timing that Solana is up more year-to-date than Bitcoin. The only reason it's up more year-to-date than Bitcoin is because it dropped so much farther, and it is not even higher than its pre-FTX highs. So when you take it into context, Solana, in a lot of ways, has not rallied as far this year as Bitcoin has. It hasn't even recovered its pre-FTX highs. It is technically up more year-to-date, but that's not something I'd put a lot of stock in. Scrolling down here, you're going to see the next top 10 cryptocurrency that's up the most year-to-date is Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up 70% year-to-date. Then you have to scroll all the way down to Ethereum. Ethereum is the second largest gainer in the top 10 on the year-to-date, up 60%. Then you scroll down and you'll find Cardano, which is up 58%. Then you'll scroll down, you'll find XRP sitting up 50%. Then Polygon sitting up 50%. Polkadot's down to number 11, sitting up 47%. Then you scroll down, Dogecoin's at 37%, which, by the way, just a little bit of a heads up. Go to twitter.com. Look at what the loading animation is. Look at what the Twitter logo turned into. Turned into Doge. I wonder if maybe our old pal Dogecoin could go through a rally relatively soon. Oh, wait, it kind of already has. Yes, that's what happens when you have a cryptocurrency that's price is completely dictated by the whims and fancies and entertainments of a billionaire. You can make a lot of money in it. Just be careful, because unless you have insider information on when Twitter is going to change their logo to the Doge dog, then there's not much predicting. That's very far outside the realm of technical analysis, fundamental analysis, on-chain analysis, geopolitical analysis. That's personality analysis. And the last I checked, it's very hard to analyze what a person is thinking unless you know the person and you can go and ask them. And I don't know about you, but I don't know Elon Musk. He showed up in our chat one time, but and it was the actual Elon Musk YouTube channel too. We checked, but I don't know the guy. He just showed up in our chat one time. So anyway, the point I'm making on CoinMarketCap is that Bitcoin is having a much better year than the rest of the cryptocurrencies in the top 10. And the reason that that's significant is because whenever Bitcoin's going into a new bull market, that's what you expect. Bitcoin outperforms everything. Bitcoin outperforms all of these altcoins, because it is the cryptocurrency that the retail and the institutions that are not in cryptocurrency want to get into first. They want to build a position in Bitcoin, and then maybe with some of their profits from Bitcoin or with extra money that they are now willing to experiment with, they'll then go ahead and jump into the altcoins. Why is that important? Well, it's meant that Ethereum has been behind the 8 ball from Bitcoin for quite some time. May I remind you that there are 3 major levels of resistance that Bitcoin and Ethereum were and are both contending with. Those levels are based off of local highs that were set on these dates. First and foremost, August 12th. Second and second most, September 11th, September 10th, September 12th, somewhere in there. And then Friday, November the 4th. You can see those 3 dates right there on Ethereum. You can see those 3 dates right here on Bitcoin. Plotting a horizontal level of resistance, those were 3 critical levels that Bitcoin and its contemporaries, namely Ethereum, needed to break through to be able to go into this more heightened bull market phase. Looking between Ethereum and Bitcoin, you can see these 3 horizontal lines. Maybe I can draw this on a slightly cleaner chart. We'll draw it over here on this chart right here, on my chart from that video a few weeks ago that you guys liked so much. You can see these 3 levels based on these 3 highs right here in August, September, and November. You can see Bitcoin has already broken through all 3 of those. The bottom of these levels was $21,500. The middle of these levels was, and I don't have it drawn on the exact level, but it was $22,808. The top level was $25,236. Those were the descending local highs that we set during the accumulation phase and the tail end of the bear market last year. What you need to do when you're moving out of accumulation phase, out of a bear market, is you need to start resetting previous levels of resistance during the downtrend as current levels of support. And that's what we've witnessed. We've seen Bitcoin rally up to test 21.5, reject, break through, back test 22,808, use it as support, back test 21,500, use it as support, fall through, break through 25,236. We haven't even had to backtest it because we've been so much higher than it, which is fine. You can do that. A market can do that and be healthy. That means that Bitcoin has broken through these 3 levels denoted by these 3 dates: August 14th, September 12th, November 4th. You know, not exact dates, but somewhere in there. Ethereum has not done that. It's broken through its November 4th high, which sits at roughly 1677. It's broken through its September 10th high, barely, that sits at 1791, but its August 14th high sits at $2,038. The equivalent level on Bitcoin is 25,236. Bitcoin's broken through 25,236, and you guys know what happened when Bitcoin did break through 25,236. It completely exploded. It went on a gigantic moonshot, and the market is so bullish right now that the bears are not convinced that they can even send the market back down to 25,236. As I was talking about a second ago, we're not even able to backtest it. The market has rallied so far that this level is in the distance. It's in the rearview mirror. It's behind us. And so why does that matter? Well, Bitcoin is above its August 12th high. Ethereum has not gotten above that level, but Ethereum, through this rally that we have seen take place over just the last 2 days, has shown us a couple of things. First and foremost, Ethereum has managed to break concretely and confidently above $1,791. That is that September 9th and 10th level of resistance that we spoke about. We had been contending with this level for a couple of weeks, but over the last couple of days, Ethereum managed to rally above this level, backtest it, use it as support. This little miniature downtrend was not very strong. Then we saw a spinning top, indicating that this little 2-day downtrend was coming to an end. Then the last 2 days, we've seen green. Saw a large green candlestick here. We're seeing a pretty large green candlestick here, albeit with a large wick. I'm not saying that Ethereum is out of the woods yet, and we'll talk about another reason why here in a moment, because there's a very big reason why Ethereum is definitely not out of the woods. But Ethereum is now setting new local highs. Ethereum has not seen a high as this high since the highs of August the 12th, 2022. Now, we're not at the exact level of resistance. The exact level of resistance is $2,038, but we did rally all the way up to 1942. I don't know about you, 1942 is a very interesting level because it's just barely under $100 away from that local level of resistance on Ethereum. And this is the exciting thing. The exciting thing is that Ethereum had to contend with its November 4th high here for quite some time, all of January and February. We finally broke through it when Bitcoin broke through its August 12th high. Then Ethereum has had to contend with this level here That being its September 10th level of resistance at 1791 for a couple of weeks. And during that time, it established a bull flag that we showed you here. It had a price target of 1788. Didn't quite get there. We made it to 1740, but I'd say that price target came true. You can see I left it on the chart here, hoping that it would come true, and our prediction did end up coming to fruition. Ethereum has gone through a major rally. Now, there's a couple of things that can happen here and a couple of setups I want you to know about. The first thing is that Ethereum does not really have a lot of exuberance right now to go through a rally all the way up to $2,038. Why? Because everybody's got their attention on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is hitting its head on 28,545 right now. Normally for Bitcoin, normally for the altcoins, even the biggest altcoin, Ethereum, to go through a major rally, it needs to have the backing of a Bitcoin rally. Why? Because normally if Bitcoin is not in a rally, then Ethereum does not have anywhere to go to get the resources to go into a rally. Because if somebody's going to put money into the space, sure, they'll put money into Ethereum, but they're going to put money into Bitcoin first. So if Bitcoin's not going through a rally, don't expect for Ethereum to be going through a massive rally. Well, looking back at the chart here, Bitcoin is sitting currently, I have literally 5 different Bitcoin charts right now with a ton of drawings on them, excuse me. Bitcoin is sitting right below resistance at 28,545, has not broken it yet. So Ethereum is going to struggle to get the momentum that it needs to break all the way up to $2,038 because it would have to break away from Bitcoin. But there are a couple of things to keep in mind there. Number one, Ethereum, and there's actually a lot of analysis that needs to be done here. Number one, Ethereum is behind Bitcoin. Remember to what we talked about on CoinMarketCap. Ethereum has been losing market dominance to Bitcoin in a very noticeable way. You don't even need to go to market capitalization charts to see it. You can see it. So you don't even need to go to market dominance charts to see it. You can see it on market cap charts, because Bitcoin has rallied more this year than Ethereum has. Ethereum back here, let's just look at the beginning of the year. Right before the year began, Ethereum was 18.4% market dominance. Bitcoin was at 40.15. Scroll forward to today, Ethereum has barely changed, and Bitcoin is up to 46.19. Bitcoin has not been scooping market dominance from Ethereum, but it has outpaced Ethereum. Ethereum is not growing in market dominance right now. Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is the exciting cryptocurrency right now that everybody's looking at. So Ethereum is not. That means that there is room that Ethereum could catch up. If you guys remember, one of the things I've talked about for years, and you can type in crypto Jebb altcoin cycle, you'll see videos on this, is something I call the altcoin cycle. And this is kind of this idea of this engine, the altcoin engine. Excuse me, not altcoin cycle. Everybody knows the word altcoin cycle. What I'm talking about is called the altcoin engine. Oftentimes, you'll have an altcoin cycle and it kicks off something that I call the altcoin engine, where you'll see people taking profits out of Bitcoin, then dump them into altcoins that are lower, that have not rallied quite as much as Bitcoin during its previous rally. Then with the profits of those altcoins going through a rally, they will take those profits and dump them back into Bitcoin. And what that ends up looking like, and it's kind of hard to see, you got to kind of squint and cock your head a little bit, but you can kind of see it, is there are these times where if you look at all of the altcoins versus Bitcoin, you will see that Bitcoin gains market dominance, and then the altcoins gain market dominance. And then Bitcoin gains market dominance, and then the altcoins gain market dominance. And then Bitcoin gains market dominance, and then the altcoins gain market dominance. And then Bitcoin, and then altcoin, and then Bitcoin, and then altcoin, and then Bitcoin, and then altcoin. And the money circulates, it pumps, this engine goes up and down and up and down. Let's say you have a two-piston, 4-stroke engine. You have the pistons going up and down, and back and forth, and back and forth. And you have Bitcoin up at one point, altcoins down at another point. Then they switch and drive power to the drive shaft so the vehicle moves forward. And that's what cryptocurrency is. That's the vehicle. The cryptocurrency market is moving forward, growing in market capitalization, and you have this back and forth momentum between the altcoins and between Bitcoin. And that's what you're seeing a lot of start right now. You're seeing that ignition power stroke of Bitcoin going through a rally, kicking things off, getting it started. Anybody who's ever ridden a bicycle knows the hardest revolution of a bicycle, the hardest revolution of a pedal is the first one. If you can get that pedal over the top and then pushing down, then you're good. You're going to be all right riding a bicycle. But that first movement, just getting it going right off the bat, that's the hardest. It's the same thing in an internal combustion engine. Getting the thing started is what oftentimes is the most difficult. But after the engine is running, the engine a lot of times is under its own steam, because when you have that altcoin engine going back and forth, sending the interest and the enthusiasm the market capitalization, the volume, the liquidity, the volatility, back and forth between Bitcoin and Bitcoin and Ethereum, that generates excitement. That generates enthusiasm. And people are much more likely to invest in an exciting market. And so when you have an exciting market, then people come in and they put money into that market, and that drives the engine forward. Almost through the very process of the engine driving, it generates fuel. Wouldn't that be amazing if we had a car that could do that in the real world? What's the point? The point is, Bitcoin has already gone through its power stroke. It's already gotten things started. Now it's time for Ethereum and some of the altcoins to come in and pick up the slack. We've seen that happen at the beginning of bull markets in past, and we've also seen that end bull markets in past. We've seen, for example, here in 2018, we saw Ethereum hit all-time high in about January 12th, January 14th, I think it was, of 2018, whereas back then, Bitcoin hit all-time high on December 17th. Ethereum hit all-time high a full month later because of that cycle. You see a similar thing throughout the history of Ethereum if you go and look for it. We don't have a lot of time to look for it today, but my point is that Ethereum has been behind Bitcoin because Bitcoin is predominantly the ignition piston, if you will. I'm making up terms here. You guys can tell I'm not a mechanic. I have specialty in quite a few areas, but that's not one of them. You guys that work on cars can tell me what I mean by that, because I'm sure that's a thing. But anyway, Bitcoin is starting to rally. Ethereum is now following. That means that there is an argument that Ethereum could rally up here to 2038, and Ethereum definitely needs to, because there is a bit of a problem with this chart. In fact, there is a very large problem with this chart, a glaring one, and that is RSI. On two different time frames, Ethereum is facing RSI divergence. Because RSI has not rallied all the way up to 2038, it has not managed to get its RSI much above 64. The problem is, when it hit a local high on March 17th, up around $1,800, it's at a high at 65, which means that this is technically a downtrending resistance level on RSI. We have an uptrending resistance level on the daily chart RSI. That's not too good for Ethereum. That is typically a very strong bearish confirmation. If you look at principles of technical analysis, we have a video down here talking all about RSI. If you scroll down right here, right here, you will see RSI. We have a video explaining what RSI is, the relative strength index, and then immediately after, we have a video explaining what RSI divergence is. Divergences are very important because if you see RSI divergence, it oftentimes gives you a very strong indication of what the market is about to do. So make no mistake, if you see RSI divergence, you want to pay close attention to it. And right now there is RSI divergence here on this chart on the short term. However, it doesn't look much better if you look out to something like the daily chart, but you look a little bit, you zoom out a little bit. Our local high here on January 14th through about January 21st, that week, all the way to where we are right now. Very obvious and confident downtrending level of resistance. You can see it, uptrending level of resistance. You can see it very, very, very easily. Just go ahead and color that red. That uptrending level of resistance is basically the level of resistance that Ethereum is hitting its head against to go through its massive rally. The problem for Ethereum is that when we went through our first rally, we rallied all the way up to 84 on RSI. Right now, we're barely able to push above 60, which means that there is a very long-term, huge level of RSI divergence. Not something that gives the market a lot of confidence. And so this is where things get tricky. There's a lot of RSI divergence. Ethereum is in the shadow of Bitcoin right now. So what is it going to take to break Ethereum out of this rally? Out of this kind of transitionary zone? Because I believe the transitionary zone for Ethereum started at least 1791, and it goes all the way up here to, I'd say, probably around $2,300. That would be basically the equivalent of Bitcoin's $32,500. $32,935. Ethereum needs to break through all of that to be back in a bull market. I'm not going to call Ethereum being in a bull market until it's above probably at least $2,500. It doesn't need to get quite that high, but that high for confirmation. So, how does this line up with Bitcoin? Because I've talked about how Ethereum is in a great spot right now, but I've also talked about how Bitcoin is in a great spot. Remember how we're seeing CPI data release on April the 12th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. When that data releases, if that is a drop, and it is predicted to be a drop, then that will likely drive Bitcoin above 28,545. Bitcoin right now finds itself in a massive ascending triangle pattern, pennant pattern, which fairly has a price target that you draw just like this of over $40,000. Whether that comes to pass or not is yet to be seen. I would be a little bit surprised if Bitcoin managed to rally $40,000 by the end of April. But I would not at all be surprised to see Bitcoin trading at $33,000 by the end of next week. You heard that right. In the next 9 days, I would not be surprised in the slightest for Bitcoin to be trading $5,000 higher than where it is right now. And that would have a profound and market impact on Ethereum. Because remember, Ethereum follows Bitcoin, and it follows Bitcoin at a slightly lower percentage. Ever since the beginning of the year, after all, Ethereum is up 60%, whereas Bitcoin is up roughly 72 to 73%. If we see, that means it's up about 5/6 of however much Bitcoin is up. That means that if Bitcoin does go through a rally here, just pick a cleaner chart. If Bitcoin does indeed go through a rally here of 15%, I would not be at all surprised to see Ethereum go through a rally of 12 to 13%. That would put Ethereum at over $2,000. So that's where the title comes from. You guys know I like to explain where the title comes from. In fact, I don't think I put it in the title. I think I put it in the description. Yes, in the description I said is about to undergo a rally to over $2,000. That's what I mean. If Bitcoin rallies 15% on the CPI news, which I think is highly likely, Ethereum will very likely end up going through a rally to over $2,000, up to nearly $2,200. And in doing so, it would also break above its level of resistance called $2,038, which is the equivalent level of Bitcoin's $25,236, which was an absolutely crucial and pivotal moment. And it would also mean that Ethereum is in much more bullish territory. That would mean that Ethereum is really into its transitionary phase, which is right here between 2038 and I'd say about 2319. That level in there is the level that Ethereum is going to need to break through for it to go into a rally. But not just that. If Bitcoin does break through 2545, and if Ethereum breaks through its level of resistance at 2038, it doesn't even need to be honest with you. Only Bitcoin would have to break through. Then that would lead the total market capitalization chart, above its critical resistance that was set also on August 12th at $1.18 trillion. Right now, total market capitalization is just a few $1 billion below that level, and it is sitting at $1.16 trillion. We are $20 billion away. In cryptocurrency, $20 billion is chump change. You can find that in the metaphorical couch of this industry. If Bitcoin is able to break above 28,545 as a result of a CPI drop, which I think is coming, I think is almost guaranteed. You never know. It is possible that CPI goes up. 6% is much lower than the 10% that we were seeing, almost 10%, 9.6% we were seeing last June. I think it's likely that you'll see a drop, not a drop all the way back down to 2% continuously over the next year, but I think you'll see drops of maybe a 1 to 1.5% in total, down to the 4% region. Then you'll probably bottom out because the economy is not as secure as it was. But when that happens, I don't think it's a matter of if. I do think it's a matter of when. Maybe not this month, but at least next month, you see at least a 0.2% drop. That sends Bitcoin to the upside. Remember, every $1,000 that Bitcoin rallies adds on roughly $20 billion of market capitalization in its own right. And then with Bitcoin making up 50% of market dominance or less, whenever Bitcoin moves $1,000, that pretty much causes the rest of the space to move up by a proportional amount. So about every $1,000 that Bitcoin moves, you add about $40 billion to total market capitalization. $40 billion higher than where we are right now, which is a very small rally, would be well over our resistance for the first time, up to $1.2 trillion. We have not seen that level hit yet. And if we do, that means that we have broken this resistance. You guys remember, in February, I was harping on this for days, weeks, months about these three levels. The August 14th level, the September 10th level, and the November 4th level. Those three levels are some of the defining levels that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the total market capitalization chart are contending with. Bitcoin is clear and free of all three of them. Ethereum is almost free and clear of all three of them. And total market capitalization needs just another $20 billion. $20 billion sounds like a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot if you're in cryptocurrency or if you're Elon Musk, because he said Twitter is only worth $20 billion now. Poor guy. Maybe it's because he made the logo into the Doge face. Who knows? You know, I just feel like we have like a 16-year-old meme lord running Twitter right now, and it is hilarious. But it's kind of hilarious in the way that it's kind of like the way a clown is hilarious. It's actually kind of scary, but for some reason you laugh at it. That's kind of what's going on at Twitter. I'm all for it. I think it's great. I think it's hilarious. But yeah. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is going to go through a rally April 12th, probably in the days leading up to that as well, with the buy the rumor. We could see that breakout happen anytime now, and that would lead Ethereum through a major rally. Now, as always, I like to show you what you can do with this information, because it's not enough just to know, oh, I think Bitcoin or Ethereum is going to go here. Great. Go sit around the dinner table and share with your friends. I think Bitcoin or Ethereum is going to do this. You don't have to give me credit. You can just say, I think that this is what's going to happen. If you agree with me, then you think that too. It's not lying. You say, I think this is going to happen. You don't have to tell them your source. You can if you want to. Subscribe to the channel if they want to. But sure, I want you to be able to go and brag to your friends that you know what's going to happen in cryptocurrency. But more than that, because, pride's a dangerous thing. I want you to be able to do something with that information. I want you to be able to make a trade by it. If you're a trader, your trade right now is that you could trade if we see a movement above Bitcoin. You set an alert on Bitcoin at like 28.7, then you watch it yourself. This is not a time for an automated trade. You watch it yourself to see if it's the real deal. Then you pull the trigger on a trade on Ethereum, maybe at 1902, and try and catch that rally up to 2038. You could do that. It's risky. We're already half of the way there. What would be more conducive would be either wait for Ethereum to go through a correction down to 1791, which will probably happen in the next 2 days. So by the way, if Ethereum has dropped $120 in the next 2 days, don't come at me. I'm telling you right now, it's probably going to go through a small correction based on the way this candlestick looks. And then towards next week, it'll go through a rally. It will probably, I'll just go ahead and show you. It will probably do something like this. Probably something like that. If it goes through this drop, then buy down here, maybe around 1791. Then you have a clear level that you can put a stop loss below. That makes it a lot easier because you're not buying a trade in midair. You're buying a trade from the launch pad, and you're able to actually prepare and plan for it a lot better. You have more of a gain and less of a risk. So it's always better to trade near a level of support that you've just broken or that you've just bounced off of. The actual major resistance that you could trade as well is that if we broke above 2038. Now, if you're feeling risky and you feel like counter trading everything I say, because there are some of you guys that join and say, haha, I do the exact opposite of everything Jebb does, and it is a winning pattern. I don't know if that's true, but if that's what you want to try, then knock yourself out. Just be real careful. Use your stop losses. Don't get hurt. I'm not offended. You could short up here around 2038 if you wanted to. What I will warn you about is if you plan to short at 2038, just remember how Ethereum has contended with these levels before. It hasn't hit the level and then just fallen away. It's hit the level and besieged the level for weeks. By the way, you see this level, 1677, that Ethereum was testing over and over and over again, and then a big drop in the middle? Doesn't that look a lot like what Bitcoin's doing down here on the 4-hourly chart? Test, 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 drop, test, 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 breakout? I think so. Time will tell. The point is, there's a trade to be made on Ethereum, and I think it is coming soon. Now, if you're an investor in Ethereum, I think you have found the perfect opportunity. Why? Because when Bitcoin breaks 28,545, that's where people start talking about confirmed bull markets. In a lot of ways, I think the bull market is almost already confirmed. I wouldn't say that it's confirmed. I'd say that the predictions of a bull market coming in the next few months are basically guaranteed. I wouldn't say the bull market is confirmed. I want to see Bitcoin above 32,935 before I say the bull market is confirmed. Bitcoin trading at $35,000 for 3 weeks, I'd call that a confirmed bull market. Bitcoin breaking above 28,545 for 2 days, I'm not calling that a confirmed bull market. But the good news is we're getting into that territory where we can start having that conversation. So if you are looking to invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, now is a pretty good time because we have enough confidence that the bear market is over and we're moving into bull market. We're just now asking ourselves the question of when. We're also asking ourselves the question, is Russia going to launch another invasion on another European nation? Hopefully not, because the only other option outside of NATO is Moldova, and they'd have to get through Ukraine to do that. Since Finland just ascended into NATO yesterday, is China going to launch an invasion on Taiwan because Xi Jinping is completely Xi Jinping unhinged? Maybe. If there's some kind of geopolitical, globally destabilizing event that takes place, then maybe a bull market doesn't come this year. But at this point, barring black swan events, we're almost certainly going to have a bull market this year on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And when that occurs, if you are investing now, you are going to be in a great position to profit then. The goal of this channel is to help you become financially sovereign. What does that mean? Well, essentially, if you think about your life like a solar system, what's the sun? What is everything else revolving around? For me, the sun is the Lord Jesus Christ. Everything I do, I want to be in service and glory to him because I love him. He died for me, saved my life. If somebody died for you and saved your life, you'd be forever indebted to them. I'm forever indebted to him for saving my soul. I don't want my finances to be the sun that everything else is revolving around, right? I don't want myself to be there in the center because I'd be selfish. I don't want my money to be there in the very center. I want to be able to focus on my family and on my Lord and on my wife and on my ministry and on my channel here, which is my ministry. And I want my finances to be supporting that, not for them to be the end goal. I don't want to just make a bunch of money just to make a bunch of money. Why do you make money? You make money to spend it on something. If you're making money to make money, you're eventually going to realize that there is no profit in that when we're talking about purpose. There might be dollar profit, but there's not going to be any actual tangible long-term benefit of that. I want you to have money. I want you to be financially sovereign, but for a reason, not just so you can buy a fancy Lamborghini. Look, if the sun in your solar system is to buy a Lamborghini, I'm not going to judge you. That's between you and yourself. But whatever is in the center of your life that you are trying to push towards, maybe it's your children, maybe it's your family, maybe it's a parent that needs help, maybe it's a college fund, maybe it's the Lord Jesus. I would love for you guys to accept the Lord Jesus. You can always email us and ask questions about him. We'd love to talk to you about him. Whatever it is, that's totally your deal. I'm not judging. Whatever it is, money probably is not the best one to be in the center. Money should be in support of that. That's what financial sovereignty is. I want you to get yourself into a position where you're not a slave and a servant and in service to your finances. I want them to be working for you. I want them to be in service to you. Because if they're in service to you, then they're going to help you in whatever it is that you purposed your life around. And that's why I talk about technical analysis in cryptocurrency every single day, because if you understand technical analysis, you understand how to read these charts, then you're going to understand one very simple thing. These markets are shouting signals at you every single day. Every single minute of every single day, every second of every single day, every one of these charts is shouting signals at you. Buy, sell, long, short, set a stop loss here, set a take profit here, dollar cost average now, invest now, exit now. These markets are shouting at you 24/7. It is your job to learn technical analysis so that you can hear those signals. If you can hear those signals and you can understand what the market is telling you, then you'll be successful. If my spouse and I are speaking two different languages, which happens sometimes because my first language is English and her first language is Spanish, if we're speaking two different languages and we don't understand each other, then there's a problem. Right now, she speaks English, obviously. She's extremely fluent in English. I didn't know that her Spanish was her first language for a long time because she's so amazing at it. But my point is, if we're speaking two different languages and we don't understand each other, you don't have a relationship there. There's no way to build that relationship. There's no way to profit from that relationship if there's no communication. The way that you communicate with the cryptocurrency market and build a relationship with it so that you can generate revenue through trading it and having profit from that relationship, because every relationship hopefully brings some kind of profit in some way, whether it be joy or camaraderie or companionship, or, you know, maybe it's a business partnership and it brings money, or it's a partnership with crypto and it brings profits. It takes communication. The market is talking to you. The market is shouting at you. It is sitting here shouting in your ear, and it sounds like white noise until you understand how to decipher what it's saying. And that's the biggest thing that I have learned over the last 6 years of doing technical analysis on this market every single day. I know the Bitcoin chart like it's the back of my hand. You can tell me a month and I'll tell you what price Bitcoin was at. You can try me. I'll probably be pretty close. Might not be perfect, but I'll probably be pretty close. Why? Because I was making videos. Whatever month you say, I guarantee you I made at least 10 videos during that time. And so I know where Bitcoin has been, and I know how to listen to its signals. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because I want you to learn technical analysis. And the best way to learn technical analysis, in my opinion, is through the series of video lectures that we have in Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. This is an academy where we're going to teach you how to decipher those signals that the market is shouting at you. We taught over 5,000 students in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy over the course of about 3.5 years how to do technical analysis, and we are still a friend of mine named Jaco1345 over in Discord. He's a Club DeFi member. He was in office hours, and back in 2019, he was helping me to learn how to sing. I am a half-decent singer now, but I wasn't always that way. I learned a lot, and he actually helped me a lot in the DMs. I was friends with him over in Discord, and he showed up in office hours. I got to talk to him, and he had a lot of great questions, and it was wonderful. It's a great time getting to talk to him. By the way, he has a new music video out. Let me see if I can get a link and share that with you guys. Send him some loving. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Let me try and find this. Let's try and find this. This is pretty cool. He just put a music video out. So, like I said, he's a musician. Let me see if I can put this in chat. Hopefully this will work. Shout out to him. And if you go over there, put in the comments that Crypto Jebb sent. Oh, hang on. That's not the right thing. That's a Dropbox link. It's called I Am Not Afraid. Anyway, we were over there talking to him, and he had gone through CT2A and Club DeFi, and he was telling me, Jebb, over the last several years, what you have taught me in CT2A and Club DeFi funded the creation of this music video. So let me just show you this. Let me see if I can find this video. Hang on. I found his YouTube channel. Here we go. Kevin Doran is his name on YouTube. This video should have gone out by now. Oh, okay. It says it's premiering today. Okay, that's weird. I thought it was already premiering. But anyway, go check this out. Go tell him that Crypto Jebb sent you. He'll know what it's about. Here you go. I put it in chat. That's the watch page. That is a music video that he created. And it's awesome. I got to see it because I got the private link to it. I almost posted that, so glad I didn't. But anyway, that premieres today at 7:30, I think. That music video, he told me, was funded by the proceeds of Club DeFi and CT2A. Here, I'll actually read you the message. I'll show you the message. Why not? Here. This was office hours in Club DeFi's Discord server that we do office hours in every single week. If you join Club DeFi, you get access to office hours. Over here, he told me, Jebb, I sent you an email about a music video coming out tomorrow. I made it with CT2A Club DeFi profits. Just wanted to say thank you again. I said 1345. I'm sorry. 1456. Jaco 1456. He said he had been using the profits from CT2A and Club DeFi to make the music video. That's awesome. That's what I want. A big purpose and focus in his life is music. He was able to use his proceeds from CT2A and Club DeFi's learning to go and do that. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you guys to learn how to trade and invest in these markets so that you'll be successful. And that's where principles of technical analysis comes in. If you guys want to learn everything that you need to know about technical analysis so that you can get your footing and get started learning, trading, investing, and most importantly, profiting in this space, your future is behind one barrier, and it's education. If you learn how to read these markets and learn how to read the signals that they're shouting at you every single day, you're going to be successful if you put your mind to it. I believe in you. If there's any doubt in your mind that you can't do this, that you can't make money in this space, I'm here to tell you it's not true. I remember when I got into the cryptocurrency space, I had that doubt come into my mind. I had that thought of, man, I could never do this because I want to start a YouTube channel. I thought, I could never do this. I want to build an educational company where I taught people about how to do technical analysis. I not only wanted to learn technical analysis, I wanted to learn it well enough to teach it because I loved it so much. And I thought, there's no way I can do this. But I saw on YouTube other people were doing it. I'm like, I'm no different than them. They just have a YouTube channel. I can do that. It wasn't pride. I wasn't trying to be prideful. I was just saying, if I put my mind to it and I do exactly what they did and I put my own flair on it, why wouldn't it work? And now one of the channels that I looked to had about 200,000 subscribers. We have 200,000 subscribers. You can see the silver play button right there. I put my mind to it and I thought, I know that if I do what's been done before, if I walk in footsteps that have been paths, I'm not even the trailblazer here. It's been done before. I'm walking down a path that's already been beaten. Of course I can. Of course you can drive down the interstate. Somebody's already gone there and built the thing. The people that were wondering whether they could or not were Lewis and Clark. The people that were wondering if they could or not were Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. Those were the people that were wondering if they could because nobody had ever done it before. People have made money in cryptocurrency before, and so can you. People have made money trading in cryptocurrency before, and so can you. People have made money investing in cryptocurrency before, and so can you. All you have to do is go down the same path that those people did and invest in your education, because I guarantee you every single person that ever made money in cryptocurrency more than once and didn't just get lucky, which is not a strategy, that's playing the lottery, invested in their education in a huge way. A massive, massive, massive way. So I highly encourage you to invest in your education by subscribing to the channel and watching this content, because I think we're providing a lot of great content that's going to help you understand not only where crypto is going, but also why crypto is and why crypto is where it is and why crypto is going where it's going, so that you can make profit in this space. If you invest in your education, I think you're going to be very happy for it. So I want you to do something for me. Go to cryptojebb.com. It's that simple. CRYPTOJEBB.com. You can see this is our This is our YouTube, or not a YouTube channel, our website. You can scroll down to our courses, go to Club DeFi, Principles of Technical Analysis, scroll down, and look at all the videos. You can even watch some of these previews, if you will. There is new content coming out to Club DeFi in the next several months. Hit enroll now. I won't click that because there's sensitive credit card information behind that button, but if you hit enroll now, that'll take you to the sales page. And if you were a member of CT2A, then there's a coupon code waiting for you. Shoot us an email, support@cryptojebb.com. You will get 25% off Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. And if you're like the one person that we're about to respond to in email here in just a little while, you will be getting a discount related to how much money you put into Club DeFi. So we're about to generate a coupon code for somebody right now. They were in Club DeFi spending $25 a month. They're the beta, where it was a monthly package. They were spending $25 a month. They did that for 7 months. They're about to get a $175 off coupon code. So if you were in Club DeFi's beta, where we were testing out the subscriptionary model, shoot us an email, support@cryptojebb.com, and we would be more than happy to get you a coupon code equivalent to however much money you put into the beta. Guys, I cannot encourage you enough to invest in your education. You won't be sorry. You won't regret it. Remember, this guy made this whole music video because of his profits in CT2A and Club DeFi. Those are his words, not mine. Really, really cool what's going on in crypto. All right, let's go ahead and read Jarrett's name. Let's see. It's impossible to pronounce my name. It's pronounced Jarrett. Jarrett? Is it a rolling R, or is it a hard R? Jarrett, or is it Jarrett? Interesting. I love the TA on your wife's pregnancy the other day. It cracked me up. Wait, what was it? Oh, what? I remember something about that. You guys will have to remind me when I did that. I think I remember that. Oh, goodness. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Guys, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. SobyToby86 said, what does short mean? Great question. All right, to short a market is quite simply the inverse of longing a market. So we have to kind of answer both those questions. To long a market is to buy a market, hopefully at a low price, and sell the market at hopefully a higher price. Buy Bitcoin at $20,000, sell it at $30,000. You've just made $10,000 profit. You are longing in that case. If, and this is where it might get a little bit confusing, you do the opposite, then you're shorting. Long, short, they're opposites, right? You buy low, sell high, that's a long. You sell high, buy low, that's a short. A short is basically what happens when you borrow someone else's money, or you can do it with your own money. You borrow someone else's money. I'm sorry, not their money, their asset. So their Bitcoin, for example, or you can do this with a house. You know, you buy someone else's house for, I'll use that analogy and I'll apply it to crypto. You borrow somebody's house for $400,000 and you sell it. And then when the house goes down in value, you take that money that you just, say you got $400,000 in proceeds. It never works that way, but let's say you have the $400,000 in proceeds. You buy the house back for $250,000. You've just profited $150,000, right? You had a $400,000 house. You sold it on the market. You bought it back 2 years later for $250,000. You didn't have to spend that $150,000. Again, let's just get rid of real estate fees and closing costs and all that stuff. You just profited 150 grand. Same thing with Bitcoin. You borrow some, and then you give them the house back, and then you keep the difference and then give them a fee because you borrowed their property. Let's say you borrow someone else's Bitcoin. You borrow one Bitcoin from somebody. It goes from $28,000 down to $18,000. You sell it at 28, buy the Bitcoin back at 18. You return them their Bitcoin in a small fee because you used their asset and they missed out on the trade. You got the trade because you did the work. You're the one that made the prediction and went through with it. Then in that case, you give them the asset back, you profit the difference. That's what shorting is. And exchanges allow you to do that. They will loan you an asset that you can sell on the market, but you got to get the asset back to them. Right? So if you short and you sell the market and the market goes up, then you have to cover yourself by buying that asset back and you end up losing money. It's the exact same thing as if you buy the market low, but then the market goes down, you end up losing money, right? To cover a short trade, you have to give them their asset back. If they give you one Bitcoin, you can't just give them back 0.8 Bitcoin. It doesn't work that way. They're going to liquidate you before they allow you to happen. That's a different conversation. But you have to give them their asset back. So when you're shorting, you're basically betting that the market's going to go down. You're selling now to buy back later. You give them their asset back. You profit the difference. That's about the simplest I can explain a short trade. It is a little bit complicated. I wouldn't put that in the beginner level of things. I'd probably be in like the start of the intermediate learning here in cryptocurrency. But yeah, hopefully that will help. Hopefully that will help understand. Buy high, sell low, buy high. If you want to ask Jebb what color is his Bugatti, I don't own a Bugatti, and I don't think I will ever be buying a Bugatti. Best explanation of a short I've heard. Well, thank you, Brian Conley. I wasn't so sure, but hopefully it was helpful. Alrighty. Buy Bitcoin in the teens, headed down in April, May, not financial advice. Maybe. We shall see. Let's see. Sing us some lines. I don't know. I'm a little shy. I think a lot of you guys will make fun of me. Freedom Advocate is in chat. Oh, look at that. I'm getting a phone call. Scam likely. I know that guy. Freedom Advocate said, I see a lot of turbulence over the summer, Jebb. Economy is still wrecked. That's right. Take that into account in your Black Swan predictions. Bitcoin can't break out from the U.S. markets. So when they tank, so will Bitcoin. Yes, that is something that is definitely going to be a difficulty for Bitcoin. That's something we've talked about in previous videos. You're absolutely right. If you don't have his atonement in your account, you're bankrupt walking. Estimated 1 discovering 3 said. That's absolutely right. Talking about the Lord Jesus Christ. We need him to save us from ourselves. Jebb, you can lead folks to water, you cannot make them drink. That's true. That is true. That is true. I have a South African friend named Glenn. Glenn Buys, it sounds like that. He says, that is true. He talks like this, and he sounds really cool, and he sings, and he's a very good singer. And in fact, if you are interested, he was one of the speakers. I'm surprised I haven't actually sent you guys over here yet. Let me go ahead and show you this. He was one of the singers. Sorry, not singers. He was singing, but he was one of the pastors that spoke at the big tent meetings that we did. And I actually went ahead and edited a lot of these down about a week ago. So make sure to go and check out over here at Big Tent Ministries on YouTube if you're interested in some of these sermons. Some of these sermons completely just some of the best preaching of the word I've ever heard in my entire life. This song right here, Glenn sang, you guys will see what I'm talking about if you go and watch this video. This is perhaps one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in my entire life. Glenn is a very good friend of Roy Daniel, who is the other person that was speaking here. This was the first one I uploaded. This sermon was incredible. Completely shook me to the core. And his father, Keith Daniel, was a pretty famous pastor that was born in South Africa. Glenn was basically like a nephew to Keith Daniel. Keith Daniel died of the pandemic in 2021. But Glenn's in his 40s. Keith was in his late 70s, I think it was. He wrote a song. I don't know what the name of it was. I titled it To Die Climbing, but it is an incredible and beautiful song, and I've been singing it to myself so much lately. And he wrote it, and he played it, and you should definitely go and check it out. It's in this video over here. That's my mother-in-law and everybody. So make sure to go check it out. You can see right here. I will go ahead and put this in the stream chat. Absolutely incredible song. And would love to see you guys leave some love on it. Glenn would be very appreciative of that. Well, let's go ahead and reach out here for another minute, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap out. Are we in a circus right now? Because this is intense. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Yep, it was a beautiful time. Had a lot of great fellowship. All right, guys. Well, any final questions before we wrap it out? Now's the time. Final call, and we're going to go ahead and head out here. If not, thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I will definitely watch it. Praise Jesus. Absolutely, Shadrach Frost. There's still a couple of the sermons I need to get uploaded. Been a little busy with, having a baby sometime this week and all, but I got most of them up. There were 8 meetings. I think I ended up getting at least 5 of them up. I wasn't able to record 2 of them, so I think I still need to just get 1 up. I think it's just 1 I need to get up. But anyway, I recorded that and edited it, but all the credit goes to the Lord and to those wonderful men that flew in from South Africa. Roy Daniel is a great man. He's got 4 kids, Glenn has 4 kids. Roy, I think, also has 4, with a 5th on the way. They have devoted their life to missions work. Roy travels all over the world to preach, and Glenn is a missionary in the Amazon. Had a lot of very interesting stories to tell about his experiences preaching to the local tribal people. Very, very cool. All right, guys. Well, I am going to have to go ahead and wrap it out. I really, really, really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Please make sure to go watch that song. That song is just one of the most beautiful pieces of music I've ever heard in my entire life, especially when you know what it's about. This was a man that shared the gospel with him and then took him in kind of as family and treated him as a nephew for about 50 years. And when he passed, Glenn wrote that song for him. And no rolling R, just Jarrett. There we go. Gotcha. But yeah, anyway, I thought it was beautiful. Make sure to go watch some of those sermons. They are amazing. I made the YouTube channel for my father-in-law, Michael. Anyway, going to go ahead and wrap it out. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. I want you guys to be successful in the cryptocurrency space. I am going to have to go ahead and go, but before I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh, I did it. I went to the wrong screen. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling.